Is this the next big thing in the NFT universe? I think it just might be. Come along and listen to our interview with the creator of Gnome Series. Stick around through the entire video and I'll be giving away free skill packs at the end, 5 of them, to those of you that listen to all the details and can answer a few quick questions. People, a couple weeks ago, my buddy Max popped in on Discord to me and was like, bro, you got to check out this new collection. You got to check out this new hot feature game. I'm like, what's it about? He's like, gnomes. Gnomes? I'm like, gnome. Oh, before we go any farther, like, subscribe, bell. Guys, we're going to have a 2,000 subscriber party soon. Live, 2,000K. We're getting the Dr. Uni. We're getting the Left House boys. We're getting the Tales of the Crypt boys are going to hop on. It's going to be a party like Left House just had. I'm going to try to duplicate it because their party was so off the hook. So as I was saying, no way did I think I would enjoy a game about gnomes and all that silliness. They just, I don't know. I've never been excited about gnomes. I just never have. It's just never been a thing. But then I started looking at the art. I started looking at the collection. I started reading the roadmap and seeing where they want to go with this game. And it blowed my mind to pieces. And my NFT bros were like, reach out to the creator. He's a really cool dude. So I reached out to the creator, thinking, let's see if he'll respond and maybe come on the show. And you know what? He was like, of course I am down with coming on the show. I want to tell everybody about it and I want to share my vision. So let me stop stealing this thunder. Let's jump right into it. This is Nick, the creator of Gnome Series. All right, guys, we're here with Nick. We're here with my buddy Max, who was here on the Art Planet video, and we got Nick, the creator, the co-creator, or the main creator, I don't know, of Gnome Series, what looks to be maybe the hottest new thing in the NFT space. Certainly, it's got Max and I going crazy. So we tried to beg Nick to come on, and he said no begging. He was super cool, and he offered to come on without too much crying and weeping. So Nick, it's great to have you, bud.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're excited. Max has been buying up packs left and right, and I'm a little behind him, but I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah, they're a little addicting, so just watch out.
Exactly. So I'd say it was about, what, 2 weeks ago, Max, we really started getting this game on our radar, and we were like, man, I remember telling Max at one point, this is either the most elaborate ruse of all time, or this might be the next big deal, because everything just looks so polished. The site looks gorgeous. The cards are amazing, and the game that's coming sounds incredible. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about the genesis of it all?
Yeah, definitely. So growing up, I always played video games. I loved, just being able to level up certain things. I played Call of Duty a lot. I played, so many different games, and it was just a matter of, what did I enjoy? Was it just being able to level up something, or be able to take myself on top of the leaderboards? Now, I just newly entered the NFT space, I would say about 4 or 5 months ago. Did a lot of research. Wow. Gnome Series just launched 3 months ago. But really just breaking down some of the NFT games out there and the applications that are out there. It's really comes down to building a game that is all for the community and making sure, every little move that you're making is going to can't make everyone happy, but let's say 99% of the people happy. For me and a lot of my community members are always going, well, can I get a discount code? Sure. Like I'm not in this for the money, like with the NFT side or even the game. It's more so of just creating that atmosphere of just letting the community decide what's going to be next. And that's key, especially with the blockchain and everything, how everything operates. Watch the other NFT games, some of them are restricting just to their ideas. Why? You shouldn't. You should continue building your community with your game and let them make the decision. And I've always had that mentality. I have a game on Steam. It's called War Identity. And, I sat there in my own Discord. I would say I probably spent about 20 hours a day sometimes just working on it, listening to the community, making changes. And I saw the atmosphere it created. And that's why the Gnome Series is really it's all community. It really needs to come down to that, especially in the NFT space. This is a different type of space as well. I mean, I can't tell you how many people are jumping in just to help and volunteer for nothing. Right. And, from Steam, and it's no knock on Steam, but just the people over there, they're like, well, you're going to have to pay me for my time. Right. But this space is just it's such an infancy stage. Like, there's so much more that could be built off NFTs. Just look at Gary Vee. He just spoke, I forget which convention it was, but just the way he spoke about it could be just this one little thing, and all of a sudden it blows up, and now it's big, all because of NFTs. And I don't think we all realize what kind of atmosphere we're in right now and stage, but it's definitely in the early stages, and everyone's complaining about a bubble. Everyone was complaining about Bitcoin in a bubble when it first happened. It's not, creating utility behind the NFTs is really important. Don't get me wrong, there's some NFTs out there that just plain art. It's okay, but creating a game and allowing people to engage is going to be important moving forward in the future.
Wow, there's so much there to unpack from what you just said. I can't even. I don't want to waste too much of your day because I know you're super busy, and I want you to get back to work on the gnomes. So I don't want to waste too much of your time sitting here. But I love what you said about, and I heard your other interview on another channel about the leveling up, and that's a big thing with the gnomes, right? I mean, there's going to be a ton of leveling up. There's going to be people who can level up gnomes. I don't want to get too much in the weeds just yet, but they'll be able to level up their gnomes really high, and then you're allowing them to actually sell those gnomes that they built up, which I think is mind blowing. And I love that you're actually listening to the community, and you're not only listening, but it sounds like you really want them to make decisions and kind of drive where the game goes.
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, just last night I dropped a pack, and they were like, "How much is it going to be?" I was like, "I don't know. You guys decide." And they said $20. I said, "Sure." So I dropped it back to $20. To me,
Nice.
it's not about the money, like I said earlier. Making the community happy, it's really important. And a lot of people private message me. I try to get back to all of them. There's some people that I still have to get back to, but my goal is really to keep that going, regardless how big this NFT space gets. Even creators themselves, if they have any questions, like I was that one person that I was trying to sell a gnome on Atomic Hub, and I was grinding away. I couldn't even sell one of them.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of just making your connections, collaborating, and
Yeah.
creating that community. And with this game, being able to level up your NFTs and resell them on Atomic Hub, it's like no different than World of Warcraft and all those other games where people level them up and they sell them. It's really, the engagement that you're going to make into this game is going to be really important. And I know there's plenty of card games out there, and NFT games that are approaching this space, but I think what's going to really separate us from them really is the community aspect. Being able to talk to myself and anybody else as part of my staff, it's going to stay like that regardless if we have 100,000 people playing or even 10,000. I'm really community driven, and that's going to remain intact in the future.
That's awesome. Max, I know you got some questions. You want to say some stuff. By the way, while you guys have been talking, I got another window pop open, and I'm kind of scrolling through your NFT card collection. I wanted people to see the beautiful art. And I don't know how you pick gnomes. And if you had told me 3 weeks ago I'd be getting crazy over a gnome game, I probably would have told you were nuts. But something about the art of these guys, and they're just so cool. I want them. So it looks like you got about 61 gnomes, at least on the site right now. I don't know.
We're at 75 right now.
Okay.
Website still has to be updated, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, our plan was to have 100 in Series 1, but it's going to be a little bit higher. But there's going to be a story mode as well with all the gnomes. So, there's a story behind each one, and it's just going to be able to grow the game a little bit more than your typical grind of just leveling up.
Yeah, and I think first off, I want to say thanks for dropping that pack, because I was at the computer waiting for it. I saw that drop. I ended up picking up, I think, 5 packs myself and got a couple dark epics and some
nice.
ultra rare skills. So I was pretty happy about that. One of the things that you mentioned around some of the different game dynamics, I'd love to talk a little bit about that, because it seems like, like you said, you want to bring a lot of utility, not just like a value on secondary, but a lot of utility to the gnomes as well. And one thing I noticed is it seems like you guys have a lot of game dynamics. You have blending going on. You have no city. You have a token or a noken, I guess. G-noken, I don't know.
Noken.
But there's a lot of things that it looks like are unique, but also some things that may be adapted from other games that were successful. Are there any big features that you're especially excited about, or you want to spread the word in advance of that? I think the beta that's being released in August.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a big feature that's really coming off the top of my head right now, but it's more so of like, so everyone thinks of like NFTs like, okay, it's just individual, like I can level up this NFT. I'm trying to change the space and really make it a little bit more dynamic than that. So Max, if you level up 10 of your NFT gnomes, why not contribute that also to your own personal profile or your wallet with Atomic Hub or the wallet itself and say, look, Max is also a level 10 trainer. And being able to allow you to kind of show off like, look, I am in the top 10 trainers and I know what I'm doing in this game. I can't tell you how many times I've played Call of Duty and stuff, and I would prestige and I would hate resetting, but it's more so of just saying like, look, I am ranked in this position on this leaderboard and making competitive. I'm a very competitive person. I went swimming with my son the other day, and I tried racing him. He doesn't swim very fast, but it's just that little competitive space that you need to have in games that's going to make people really want to be on top. And it's not money driven for me. I want to see people enjoy this. I want to see the community get together, and it's not going to be that type of game where we might make a decision on behalf of the team behind us, but if someone's like, hey, if you tweak this or add this or remove this, it'll make everyone's experience better, and I'll allow the community to vote on that, because this is not just my Gnome series. This is the entire community and the NFT. I want to be known as the game that listened to the community and changed the NFT space. I don't want to see games copy me in the future. I think that's huge. I think it'll create this atmosphere that's created right now and never change. And I think that's where some other platforms and video games like Steam, I mean, if you look at my game, people are ripping me apart, telling me I should just quit gaming, creating games, and quit doing this and quit life and all this stuff. And they're just like so insulting to a point. It's like, you're so toxic. Let's not do that. And I think the NFT space has set up such a great foundation already that let's continue that and create that community environment.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and I think it's a good time to probably plug the Discord. So if you're interested in the Gnome series, it's a really great Discord, especially. I think there's a Telegram as well. Is that right, Nick?
Yeah, there's a Telegram and Discord. I get yelled at because I don't go on Discord very often, and I'm on Telegram a lot, but I try to bounce back and forth evenly.
Scrolling through
the Discord's a lot of fun. There was a party the other night. They had a DJ. They had giveaways going on all the time, and a lot of people helping each other out. And it's a very positive, fun community. So I always enjoy hanging out in there.
Yeah, that place is booming.
Yeah, those volunteers, I mean, I can't say enough about them. And not once have they asked for any compensation, and they work their butt off. You would think that they work for us full time, but they just want to see the success behind the platform and the creation that we're making. And so they're really putting in as many hours as me. And I think that's what makes this so unique. If it was just me by myself, I'm pretty sure I would have been getting ripped right now by a lot of people saying, why is this not done? Why is this not done? But my community members are literally helping each other out at answering the questions. No question's a dumb question, honestly. I mean, we have so much information going on. You might get overwhelmed at first, but ask away. Everyone knows what's going on. I mean, I've addressed things multiple times. There's everyone in my community that will be able to answer at least one question. And Discord, like you said, I mean, I haven't even joined any of that stuff, but I think it was last night I opened up a pack and I gave out free cards. Like, that's the type of atmosphere I want to continue. And just make sure everyone feels welcomed and not attacked by asking a question. And
awesome, Nick. I'm scrolling through your roadmap right now. Looks like you got a lot done. You still got a lot ahead of you because you got big plans. I remember hearing something in your last interview I watched you talk about, or heard you talk about, land ownership, and what really got me excited was owning a business on someone's land. Can you speak to that for a minute? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, the end goal of us creating the land and the businesses really is to allow third-party collections to really earn a benefit. So, the original concept, and it could tweak a little bit depending on my lawyers and stuff, but the concept really comes down to look, there's land ownership and then there's the business side. So the businesses will be able to buy the NFT, and then once they own that business, they'll be able to sell so they'll get an NFT at a wholesale level. So our third-party collectors that are jumping in, for example, consumables. So you'll be able to feed your gnomes and gain experience that way. You'll be able to buy this, so the store owner will be able to buy it at wholesale and resell it at a reasonable rate. And then we also have captains in the game. This is probably phase 2 or 3, but those captains will be able to identify, if a business is trying to really mark up the price in a certain city, they'll have a little bit of overruling and be able to make a determination of, look, if you don't change this, stuff like that. Just create that entire atmosphere of allowing people to not only own a land or a business, but able to run the actual city and the community. I've had this idea for about 5-10 years outside NFTs, just creating that territorial type of game. There's a game I can't think off the top of my head, but it's some game that deals with space and stuff. But they have the type of concept as well. But it's mind blowing to me to make sure that it's not just the first person getting into the game that's going to now own 90% of the business or the land. I don't want monopoly. I don't want all of that. But we're going to make it so it's more engaging for someone that's just entering, and making sure that things are just going to fall in line, and we'll be able to build each certain cities and expand that way. So we're not just going to release all of the land and businesses right away. We're going to slowly approach it. So if you are just learning about Gnome Series in 10 months, you still have a chance at it. I've watched a lot of these other games where there's land businesses, and you're spending $50,000. I get why people spend that much, but it might be tough for someone that's just trying to enter a game and really try to at least have some type of ownership. But the fine details of all that is still kind of being worked on. But that's the general gist of everything.
I love that that's your passion, and I mean, for the whales not to take over, because that is a huge thing that we see. We're big Our Planet guys and Alien Worlds guys, and now we're big Gnome Series guys. So it's nice to see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad to have whales, but level out the playing field, and it's going to be important in the NFT space, just to let everyone have a little piece of the fun, and that's really important. To me, I mean, I entered this space 3 months ago, and I would consider myself a little late into the NFT world, but some of these games I'm looking at, like Our Planet, for example. I think it was Our Planet or one of those games, and the land, just literally the auction for it just went through the roof. And you look at like the graph, it was like always at the bottom in the beginning, and then all of a sudden skyrocket. And they just had their sale the other day, which I think they crushed it, which was awesome. But it's stuff like that I want to change the space. I don't want to follow the footsteps of other NFT games, but I'm learning as I kind of move forward and figure out what are they doing that's successful, what are they not doing that can be successful is really important, and building the foundation of this game and letting the community kind of drive it a little bit more.
I'm looking at I'm on the part of your website where it's got married drunk gnome, and I just keep smiling because the bottom says, "Yeah, I messed up." Okay, that just gets me every time. Go ahead, Max. I was just, everyone's been staring at married drunk gnome for a while you guys been talking, so I just had to mention that. Some of the stuff is just freaking hilarious. I love the 25 in circulation too, and Max had to explain that to me a little bit earlier. So I'm like, there's no way the front, the image can update. I don't know.
Well, there is technology out there. One of the guys I spoke to, he's making dynamic NFTs, which is actually pretty intriguing. Yeah, I'll drop you guys a link. I just can't think off the top of my head what his name is, but he was showing me this stuff, and it's mind blowing. But you can always add mutable data to the NFTs, but that's just the statistics behind the NFT.
Right.
But I think of technology like that being able to change what's on the card is going to be huge. I mean, all these games are going to adapt to that and change, and I think that's why we're in such an early stage. Like, what we're doing now is going to be considered like, why did you guys do that? Why didn't you do this? But that's what's so awesome about the space and entering it so early. You're gonna be able to see it evolve, month over month, year over year, and stuff like that.
I always kind of wondered that, like, if I, because I know I use IPFS, for my little collection, and there's no way to change that. But I didn't know if there's ever a way you could just, point it to a image that you control, and then if you just update that image on your server. But I haven't explored that enough. That probably wouldn't work, but maybe it would.
Yeah. I think the technology he uses, and I might be wrong, but if he uploads the image, there's data behind the image that it'll pull. So that'll be the original IPFS, and it won't be, so whatever I'm doing now won't be able to be changed. But it's something that might be able to evolve in the future for the new NFTs that we come out with.
That could be awesome. That could be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to say I love the feedback loop that you're considering through every stage of the game. I think that's an awesome approach. And, you don't always see that with some other NFT games as well. I think sometimes people have that idea of what they want to stick to, and it doesn't matter what anyone else says. So I like that community aspect, that focus on, hearing from the community and integrating those changes, because the space changes so quick. So, if people aren't listening to each other and factoring things in, I think that's the only way to make the game really good. My last question would just be, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. August seems to be when there's going to be maybe a soft launch for certain people. Is there any thing that we can look forward to between now and August that you might want to spread the word about, or just in general about the game that you want maybe new people or even people who have been part of Gnome Series to know about?
Yeah, definitely. So, we're working on the back end of things. So we will be releasing a way for you to level up the actual gnomes. My developers are telling me next week, but I know I'm going to have to pad that for a few weeks. But let's just say in a couple weeks, could be 3, you'll be able to level up the gnomes.
Wow.
And we'll be able to kind of let players really start leveling them up, and you'll be able to see that. And we're going to start adding mutable data, because the immutable is not changeable.
Right.
But you'll be able to see that we're going to add new things to the cards themselves that you own. It's really important that we can take this model, and someone might see, leveling up a certain gnome and figure out, well, what if you guys display this or change this? That gives me a lot of things to think about before we release the beta and go, look, now we can integrate this because we just got feedback from just allowing people to use it.
Right.
And it's just really important to me. I've been, like I said before, been gaming my entire life. And, I've jumped into some games that were a complete mess in beta. I've seen games release as a mess. So that's something I'm really trying to avoid and just make sure the quality assurance is there. And that's why I really want to release some of the features before beta and stuff like that, so we can kind of just fine tweak as we go. I don't believe in, the early access terms or using alpha and then beta. I just think those are kind of it's a cop out to, getting that game released. So don't get me wrong, we are gonna have bugs, we're gonna have issues, but we will address them as fast as possible. And I'll let you know that I'm working nonstop trying to make everyone happy. And my team is doing a great job right now. And when the game is released, we're gonna have the same mentality.
That's awesome. I know I played the game Ark. I don't know if you've ever heard of that game, for probably years at a time. I quit playing because I put years into it, and it was still not released by the time I quit playing. I still don't know if it's actually been released. But yeah, you get those other games that just stay in beta forever or whatever.
And that's a shame. I mean, for like you probably played it a lot. You probably put a lot of time into it, and you're like, you're expecting a little bit more, or you're expecting it to grow, or stuff like that. And it just puts you in a position where like you stop playing.
Yep.
And that's what I'm trying to avoid. I really want this to expand into the next level of, community driven, and allowing, just anybody. It could be anybody that's been maybe even just got into the NFT space, but like, I had this really good idea. What do you think about it? I'm not going to shoot down anybody's idea. I'll let the community vote. I will spend my own personal money. If I have to spend $200,000 for developers to do something, but I know it's going to make the community kind of get a little bit more excited and have a little bit more fun, I'm all for it, because I was once in that position of being a gamer and not able to voice my opinion and change things. And then I was also a creator, with War Identity. I listened to the community. Unfortunately, Steam kind of ripped me apart, but hey, moving forward now, the NFT space is just a whole different beast. And if you told me 5 months ago that my biggest idea was, to create gnomes, which my partner Nick, he creates the actual gnomes. He's fantastic. He does a great job.
Yeah.
If you told me that this was going to be the next big idea that we've created, I would have said you were insane. But it's just the quality. It's the community. If you ask me, like, what did you do to really build this community? It wasn't me. It was everyone that joined in the early stages of just really all for it. And maybe my personality, I'm a little crazy and I'm always talking, I'm always working, I'm always there. That might have been a little bit of a play in here where people are like, wow, like he is listening, he's changing, he's trying his best, and it just allows that community to grow from there, and you create
100%.
that foundation early.
All right. Well, so Nick, thank you so much for your time. I know it's precious, and I know you're doing some amazing stuff, and I appreciate you and your partner and everybody that's doing stuff, all the moderators, and I appreciate you, Max, for coming on. We're gonna be playing the heck out of this game and collecting the heck out of these gnomes, and we're so excited that you came on to talk to us, and we'll be watching this and we'll be promoting this every chance we get as well. So, thank you very much, bud.
Thank you guys, and I really appreciate it.
And so there it is. Very interesting, very exciting. Recap. August is when the game is sort of scheduled to come out, I think, in the August time period. But Nick did mention that in a few weeks, you might be able to start feeding your gnomes, and everybody wants to feed their gnomes and start growing them, start making them better, either for resale or just tougher or whatever it entails. We don't know. Let's keep an eye out for it. This looks amazing. Thank you for stopping by. Look in the description below. I'll have a Google form out there that'll have a few questions about some of the things that were said in this video. And the first 5 people that fill it in and submit their wallet address will get a promo pack straight from Nick, straight from Gnome Series, because he was gracious enough to give us some giveaways. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.